All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this daily forecast for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Thursday, July 9th, 2026. I know I'm a little bit early. It's 3 p.m. right now. I'm a little bit early because I'm going to be on a flight to Europe later today during around 5 p.m. and so I won't be able to do the forecast at that time. So let's do it a little bit early today. But again, it's pretty late during the day, so I don't expect many things to change until 5 p.m. Okay? So let's start by looking at the economic calendar here. If you look on Thursday, tomorrow we basically have nothing, just unemployment claims, but it's an orange folder, so nothing crazy. But other than that, we don't have anything else. So let's take a look at the charts. Right here on the dollar, right now we are going lower, so that's a little bit more like it. That's what I expected. So right now, for the dollar, I would just wait for a 4-hour fair value gap to get created there. Once that's created, if it gets created, then the next target is definitely the rejection low down here. Now, if you look at all the majors, well, there's nothing interesting again because we're simply waiting for the retracement back inside those weekly fair value gaps on pretty much all of the majors. Okay, so yeah, nothing interesting tomorrow when it comes to the dollar. It's really about waiting. I think it's gonna come later during this week. Then after that, the metals. If we start by looking at gold here, so today we started by going lower. We went lower a lot actually, but then right now it does seem like we're getting a retracement. Nothing to worry about, in my opinion, because we are just simply currently stinging back inside this 4-hour fair value gap. And also, that 4-hour fair value gap is overlapping with a fair value area. So we can definitely continue lower from there. Also, if we take a look at the range with the Fibonacci, the zero point 0.5 level happens to be right inside of that 4-hour fair value gap. So, yeah, still very bearish tomorrow on gold. But that's it. So yeah, if you can, when this fair value gap shows evidence that it's holding and that it's pushing price lower, then you can potentially take a trade from there, targeting the context low, which is down here. Okay, so that's interesting for gold tomorrow. Then, if you look at silver, the trade I took yesterday ended up hitting take profit, so that was beautiful. You can take a look right here. Really, just a beautiful trade. So I'm gonna remove this. And right now, if you look at silver, silver is much weaker than gold, and we could potentially create this daily fair value gap going lower. Well, actually, we will create it for sure in 2 hours, but a retracement all the way up here is not expected at this moment. But what we do expect is a retracement back inside this fair value gap right here, which is again also overlapping with a fair value area. So this is beautiful right here. This is really nice price action that we're seeing on the metals in the past few days. And again, if you look at the Fibonacci, look at the accuracy of this. Like the fair value area, then you combine that with the zero point 0.5 level and the 4-hour fair value gap, price is definitely gonna keep going up until it reaches that level, and from there we can start moving lower. So again, silver extremely interesting for tomorrow, and just bearish prices tomorrow. Then after that we have crude oil. So crude oil actually went higher a lot today, um, which is really good. That's what we wanted. I just want to look on the weekly. So the next bump in the road, if I can call it like that, would be this huge weekly bearish fair value gap. So that's the next target here on crude oil to the upside, right? And so this one has been disrespected. We can say that with good certainty. So right now it's about seeing, well, are we going to create this bullish fair value gap? And we probably will, to be honest. It's definitely going to get created. And so for tomorrow, the plan is to wait for a retracement back inside this daily fair value gap. And from there, we can continue higher and target the opposing weekly fair value gap up here. Okay. So that's the plan for crude oil. So yeah, short term, lower prices until we sting inside the daily fair value gap, and then we can continue going higher tomorrow. And also something else that I can add on top of that is that war has started again in the Middle East. So oil is going to keep going higher for sure. Then after that, we can take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was doing random things yesterday, not really moving anywhere. Honestly, today it's kind of the same thing. We're still inside that huge range that we created on Monday, but we're going to the downside. That's for sure. That's pretty clear. We're going lower in Bitcoin, and oops, sorry, I'm just gonna move that back here. Okay, and then, well, where can we continue lower from? It's literally from this 4 hour fair value gap. It's tiny, but it's there, right? So I think from this area we can continue lower, and we also have a fair value area that's overlapping with it. So overall, yeah, lower prices tomorrow on Bitcoin, potentially all the way down to the 0.25 level. Okay, so that's it for Bitcoin. Then if we move on to the indices, so S&P here started the day very bearish. We went lower a lot, but then we swept the rejection low down here. Oops. We swept that rejection low, and now we're starting to go higher from it. So that's a little bit concerning, but I still think we can keep going lower. This fair value gap has not failed yet. Again, it's a two candle rejection. There's still 2 hours to go. So let's see if we can reject from that 4 hour fair value gap. And let me take a quick look also at the Fibonacci. And yeah, absolutely. We can still continue lower from this. So yeah, I'm still bearish on the S&P for tomorrow. I think it's pretty clear. I'm going to remove this daily fair value gap. And then if we look at Nasdaq, so Nasdaq, same scenario. We just went lower, then we ended up sweeping this low, and right now we're going higher from it. We're getting a reaction from it. Now, the range is a little bit different on Nasdaq, but if you take a look at this range, we actually have this 4 hour fair value gap that is unmitigated, hasn't been uh, traded into yet. So I believe that something like this, a retracement back inside the 4 hour fair value gap, the golden level, to then start moving lower. This is beautiful. I think again tomorrow we'll see some lower prices on the S&P, on Nasdaq, sorry. And then finally, let's take a look at our crosses. New Zealand dollar CHF. Okay, I do like this. I do like this. Um, because basically we got this sting back inside the fair value area. Uh, we can still sweep that rejection high right there. So that's interesting. And then if you look on the 4 hour and we zoom in, we actually had this 4 hour bullish fair value gap, which we had a sting into. Now we're pushing higher from it. But I have a feeling, again, it's just a feeling, but I have a feeling that this little move higher that we're seeing here is, well, it's ending, okay? And we can start moving lower now. So this is interesting, I think. New Zealand dollar CHF to continue lower. Definitely keep an eye on it. Then Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. Yeah, that's very unfortunate here. I'll keep it on the interest list, but that's not what we were expecting. It really went lower a lot, and that 4 hour bearish fair value gap looks pretty strong to me. So that's not great. We'll take a look at it tomorrow if things changes, but right now, don't touch anything. And then GBP Australian dollar, yeah, I can still keep it on the interest list, but yeah, just we're waiting for the retracement back inside this weekly fair value gap. So until that happens, I don't want to touch anything here. So there's nothing really interesting on the majors, on the crosses tomorrow, except maybe New Zealand dollar CHF. If we can take out this swing low right here, if we take this out, then we have a clear path to this low and then eventually this low. Okay. So little recap. The dollar, don't touch anything tomorrow. None of the majors are interesting yet, but they will be before the end of the week. I'm pretty sure about that. Um, and right now we're just waiting for a for price to sweep the rejection low here on the dollar. So wait for the majors. Then after that, for the metals, just lower prices tomorrow. Lower prices from those 4 hour fair value gaps. Crude oil, we're expecting higher prices from the daily fair value gap. Bitcoin, lower prices right here from the 4 hour fair value gap. Hold on. This 4 hour fair value gap right here. And finally, the indices, we're expecting also lower prices tomorrow from those 4 hour fair value gaps that we have. So this is it. Overall, today was a good day. The market, all the markets have been moving in the direction we want them to be moving, and so I think that can continue tomorrow for sure. So the market looks good, but keep in mind we don't have a whole lot of news tomorrow, so just keep that in mind. But overall, even with the lack of news this week, we had some decent volatility. I mean, I was able to catch this trade right here on silver, and that is, I mean, it's some decent volatility, even though we don't get any economic events this week. So just be mindful of that, and yeah, we'll reassess everything in tomorrow's forecast. So thank you for listening, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.